Hey y'all, welcome to week 3 of the Porch League. This is birdido. I'm going up against Coach Sean. It's the Central Ohio Libero FC versus the Las Vegas Venusaurs. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about this matchup. You probably know my team by now, and I'll go ahead and say that before we played this match, and before I even started team building, I was already set on making some trades. Um, I like my team. I think that there are some problem matchups that I have faced and will face that make me not like my team as much. And then also just the let me just describe this matchup, and in that you'll see hopefully see what I'm talking about. So this game is we're going up against like screens setup. It's like um Heliolisk, Volcarona, Sigalith, Crawdont, all have good setup. I guess Slowbro does have nasty plot and things. I don't really know how this Pokemon works yet. Um, and we also have um, pretty heavy hitters, even in the like lower tiers with Beartick and the Hail and Hitmonchan. Um, so this just looks like, depending on the matchup, Sean can set up screens and then just knock out things with whichever his choice is. I think Volcarona and Crawdont um, do really well together, actually, with Crawdont covering for Volcarona's weaknesses. Oftentimes, people are going to want to just choice scarf something that has a rock move and try to catch a Volcarona before it sets up too much. And Crawdont can always just come in and Aqua Jet if it's Choice Banded or Life Orb, do quite a bit of damage. So this combo already looks bad against my team. Um, I mean, Volcarona maybe has some sort of difficulty picking out exactly which set of moves to put on it, but Bug Buzz Flamethrower does a lot to most of my team. Um, has to find something for Arcanine, and then it's always going to be neutral damage against Dragapult. Um, so there's that, but honestly, Volcarona, especially +1, um, makes it really. It can, if it's not sweeping, it's doing a lot. It's taking a lot out before I can really get ahead of it. So I feel like I'm forced to bring Scarf Mienshao. Um, to have a rock move to outspeed it. Dragapult doesn't really get anything to help. I thought about running a acrobatics no item Dragapult, but based on how my team ended up going, I I ended up not going for that. Um, anyway, so Volcarona I definitely have to prep for. The other thing that I really have to prep for is Crawdon. Look at Crawdon against this team just with stab, water, and dark moves. Um, this has a super effective move, dies. This super effective move dies. Super effective move dies. Um, neither of these would want to switch in on a knockoff. Mienshao doesn't want to switch in on the knockoff because I need the scarf for Volcarona. Super effective move dies. Alchemy just isn't that bulky, so it can do well. Super effective move, super effective move. So the Pokemon that I like the most, my Slowbro, my Tyranitar, my Excadrill, my Arcanine, and my Dragapult, all have a problem against this Pokemon. So basically, I'm thinking like I need to make sure I don't lose to Volcarona and Crawdon, and that might be the extent of my prep. And if I have extra work, go from there. Um, so as you notice, kind of when I went through, um, I'm finding out with this team, and something that I don't think I've really appreciated as much when trying to assess a team is how weak to knock off the team overall is. Now, this doesn't mean does knockoff take super effective damage on how many Pokemon, but this is more just how critical is that Pokemon's item to that Pokemon's role in the matchup. And I feel like that's the case with so much of the Pokemon that I tend to bring. Rotom is one of my quintessential um, almost like designated Scarfers along with Mienshao. They're great. I think they're actually really good Scarfers with Dragapult. But they can't take a knockoff. Arcanine, usually I'm trying to run heavy duty boots. This has become such a bulky Pokemon on my team. It doesn't want to lose the leftovers of the boots. Um, Excadrill's items, I've been running different things on it that I feel like are necessary. And honestly, it's like I don't want Excadrill to be my switch into physical attacks. Um, Thwacky, if I'm running Choice Band, it can't. That's like I feel like the one of the better. That and Violite feel like the two best items for Thwacky, and I feel like it needs both of those. Um, Tyranitar is cool with different things like weakness policy and with any of the weakness berries, and even with like a Lumberry or Resto Chest. There's so many possibilities with Tyranitar, and most of those go out the window. Um, if because this is the dark type Pokemon, it's going to be the thing that switches it on the knockoff, and it's obviously super effective against Slowbro, and Dragapult. Um, yeah, so I have basically decided that I need to make a team that maintains a lot of what I like about this team, but takes away some of the things that I don't like. And so I made some switches. I'm getting Mandibuzz and Gigalith instead of Tyranitar and Thwacky. Um, they both are kind of like a convergence towards the center. Thwacky's a little bit of a lower pick, um, and Tyranitar is a high pick. And honestly, it's like having Tyranitar and Arcanine and Excadrill, three Pokemon that I really enjoy bringing, all sharing three weaknesses together, can be very difficult. Team building each week. So I wanted to switch out these two for Mandibuzz and Gigalith. It still gives me that sand option. Gigalith is strong on its own as a mid-tier Pokemon, and Mandibuzz is I think, one of the better defensive Pokemon in the game. So it gives you more defensive options to use alongside defensive Arcanine or defensive Slowbro. Anyway, and then I'm also in order to save to have the right amount of points for that, I needed to switch out Alchemy for something. I decided to switch it out for Wigglytuff. Keeps me a fairy, gives me a better ghost resist than Porygon, and it gives me a stealth rocker as well. Um, so I thought I really wanted to bring Alchemy, Tyranitar, and Thwacky. And I was kind of just like, Alchemy sucks. Why is it actually tiered this high? I don't even think it should be tiered this high, but I need to bring it. I also need to bring Thwacky, and I also need to bring Tyranitar. So this is kind of my starting point. Let me see if I can actually put up. Okay, there's the matchup, so you can just kind of see what I'm thinking about. And Tyranitar, it can do well on its own. It can do well to set up rocks. Um, I like it also in case of Sash Volcarona, or any other choice or any other Sashes. Then I can get the sand up and break Sashes with that. I mean, he also has Hail, so he's got to worry about that. Um, Thwacky, I already brought the choice brand set, so I had to bring the Violite. And then Alchemy, I'm kind of like literally I'm trying to figure out what this does. Looking at Aroma Veil as its ability, protects from disable and encore and taunt, and heal block. So I'm thinking like moves like Calm Mind and Recover are probably best for it, and then it's like you probably need a fairy move, and then what's that, Dazzling Gleam or Draining Kiss, and then a coverage move. So this is kind of like my starting point. I'm starting to run, and like looking at this matchup over here on this right hand side, looking at +1 Alchemy is actually um so the physical attackers are, I guess, Ferrothorn, and then Crawdont and Crocodile mainly, and Hitmonchan mainly. Obviously, there is the bear tick option. I don't think he's bringing bear tick against my team. Trying to run weather wars against me, I don't think is good because of my T-Tar Excadrill. Um, and having a fairy type that's at +1 does really well against Hitmonchan, Crocodile, and Crawdon. I think it's really not that bulky. It's not bad. But I did feel like I was a little bit trapped in here. And I was also thinking too about how okay, is this just going to be my knockoff switch in because um it's either going to be T-Tar or Alchemy. I'm going to want this and whatever else. I already was like, man, it's hard to work this team out like this. So I decide, this is my last time with Thwacky, with Grassy Surge, so I got to run a seed. And Grassy Seed, Calm Mind, Recover, putting this at +1, um, actually might be a way to do it. And as I do the calcs, okay, so this is the alchemy I ended up bringing. Let's just say it's Crawdaunt. Let's say Swords Dance, Life Orb. This is a common set, and I'm actually seeing that I can EV this to outspeed Jolly Jolly Crawdaunt, and or live a Life Orb Adamant Crabhammer if I get that seed off. And I get a lot of recovery back. So I'm like, actually, this might be the way to do it. That's part of the reason why I chose Draining Kiss over over Dazzling Gleam. Was just because I thought, okay, actually, if I set up with this, it might be fun to get health back off of something like Crawdaunt. And so with this current thing, if I'm timid and I'm +1 stats, even if somehow the crab hammer gets off, I'm going to be able to kill after it, and go from there. So let me just show you the build out of the rest of the team. So here's what I was talking about. I had to bring these. I ended up bringing just a more standard Tyranitar, bulky, fast enough to outspeed. I think Adamant. Yeah, Adamant Crawdaunt, and then Alchemy. I showed you that set already, and then Thwacky. This is mainly here to get up the Grassy Surge, but honestly, Grassy Glide is doing quite a bit, quite a bit to a lot of Pokemon that it shouldn't do. Quite a bit to knock off Taunt U-turn. Taunt felt like a good option against Ferrothorn. It felt like in the most dire of situations, I can stop, set up for Volcarona, and I can force let's say it gets +1, I can taunt it. It has to kill me. Then I can go into the Mienshao, whatever the case may be. And U-turn. Here's that Mienshao that I said that I needed. And then I was like, I guess another fail safe against Volcarona. I put so much of my efforts into making sure I don't lose to Crawdaunt. Let me make sure I don't lose to Volcarona. So we have the fail safe Sand Rush option, where if I'm faster than Volk, or if Sand's up and faster than Volk, as is with this 200, if I get or with this 262, I am outspeeding Scarf Heliolisk. I'm thinking something like Heliolisk or Crocodile could be scarfed to try to outspeed Dragapult. And then this Dragapult was just kind of like extra coverage for things. It outsped everything with just a timid nature. And it actually outsped with even less than this, but it just felt like I was maximizing the EVs this way. And so timid nature, everything else in bulk and special attack. I was really wanting to run modest, but that wouldn't outspeed or that just puts so much EVs in speed to get to the same, or to get to be able to outspeed his 109 speed Pokemon. So I ended up running Wise Glasses, giving me 10% boost to my special attacks, functionally making this modest and timid at the same time. And that's helping with Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolt does uh, KO most Crawdont builds. It definitely KOs them after Stealth Rocks, and Aqua Jet isn't killing me, especially with all this attack. So we got our Crawdont coverage, we have our Ferrothorn coverage, we have just a good stab move and another good stab move. I have to watch out because Volcarona can honestly maybe set up on me. Um, that's my team. U-turn, close combat. Close combat Mienshao does so much to most of his team. Um, and then I'm running Fire Punch as coverage for Ferrothorn. So that's my team build. Thanks for listening to me talk about why I think my team can be better. And hopefully in the next videos, I'll be running that new team and you can see what that's like. But coming up next will be the match for Sean. Thanks. Okay, so here we go. My shiny sprite didn't go through. Okay, so his team. But good luck. Have fun. Okay, so he has all the threats. He's got possible Ninetales, which can be Scarf or it can be Screens. I doubt it's both. He's got Heliolisk, which could be Scarf. Probably Scarf. Could be Life Orb or um, what's that move? He's got a lot of special attackers, and his physical attackers, my Alchemy, um, does okay with. Hopefully, after the Grassy Seed. So I need this Grassy. I need this alive if I want to win with this. We have Crook, which is also the possible Scarfer. What else could it be? Maybe a Berry. It also could probably running Intimidate. That becomes a good Tyranitar answer. Volk, just classic QD, maybe a berry. It could be the rock berry. I just need to calc with some of that. He has to run speed on it, I think. So I don't know how much bulk he can put into that. Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn's the only for sure. Maybe Crook is the physically defensive one, and then Ferrothorn is the Spadef Pokemon. All right, I'm just gonna lead Scarf Mienshao. This, if I do this, what am I losing? I'm losing a possible Volcarona check early on. I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna go knock off a Rock Slide. This just feels like I have to. This could be a sack lead with Sash. I lose Mienshao. Okay, so we'll be able to see what's going on here. 9%. Let me get my calc out. Okay, so my Mienshao against this Crook. Rock Slide did a lot less, so So this is physically defensive. Is it all the way, or is it just like, I'm just going to run it impish? Could be. This can just be the physical switch in. Now I gotta pick something to take a knockoff. Is it gonna be this? I don't think it can be this. Maybe it is actually. This isn't faster than this per se. I'm just gonna click rock slide. Okay, so this is lefties. That did 5%. That's gonna be impossible to calc. I'm just gonna get my Tyranitar in. On the possible knock. Could get up hazards. I think I'm shiny. I'm shiny. See, this is what I'm talking about and why I feel like I needed to make some trades. All of my Pokemon need their item right now. This can outspeed this. This doesn't need its item, but I need it late game for this. This obviously can't take a knockoff. This doesn't necessarily need its item, but it's not like a good switch into Crocodile. And then we have Excadrill, which has the Pasho Berry for the Crawdon. Yo! Do I want the Stealth Rocks or do I want the... Okay. Let me just get them up. I think I just click a close combat here. Or the move is a knockoff. And click close combat. Let's do some calcs. Ferrothorn. Let's say Uber Defense. What does the defensive one look like against T-Tar? Has a chance to kill. So if this wasn't... Even if this was Spadef. I just need to get it on. Then that's never killing. So this has to be max defense. So if this is max defense... against Mian Xiao. Close combat's doing a lot. Body press isn't doing a lot. I'm just going to do it. This helps me late game. This helps me with Excadrill. I can still get faster with Rapid Spin. So the Sand Rush isn't useless. It's not like Mold Breaker is doing anything for his team. But I'm running. I lose my Volcarona checks. Okay. That's what I thought. No, it's going to hurt a lot. Okay, what's the switch-in? Still doesn't really have the best switch-in for this. Maybe Volcarona, and then I have one turn. So he's very offensive. Let's see what's going on here. Volcarona, Quiver Dance against me and Xiao. Close Combat's still doing so much. I think I just clicked this. I think he's got to sack this. Excadrill looks bad now. Loses to fire move, loses to ground move, loses to... It can do okay against Ninetales. Maybe that's when I rapid spin. So he's going to calc. He doesn't have a switch in. That's good. I'm glad I brought me in, Chow. He can just pick a sack. What would he sack? Probably this thing. Turns out. Now I can regen, get some health back. This goes Volcarona. Do I just get damage off or do I... If I switch over to this... Maybe I rapid spin. So this is definitely boots. I've acknowledged this isn't that great. Crocodile is probably not faster than me now. No, there's no way it's faster. So if I go Excadrill, -1 against this Croak. Let's just go... what is it? Let's... Impish. Touch attack is this. Earthquake is definitely killing. I'm not really doing anything to it. What's Earthquake doing to me and Shao? Not killing. I can just bring it back in. On the knockoff, that's fine. And he just picks another sack. I'm going to U-turn. So now I have nothing faster than Volcarona. I just need to... Do I just set up now? The U-turn on the switch to Volk. Getting 31 to it. What's this Dragon Bolt doing even right now? Draco is killing. Knockoff is not killing. That is funny. Or do I just sack Excadrill? I think the sack is Excadrill here. This will help me find out. I think I just do this and click close combat. So he's winning the trade war, which is not good for me. Now he's got to go into something. I click Rock Slide. I'm faster than it. I have to be. This probably has some item on it, or it's not. All right. I don't think that was the play. Yeah, I thought so. So whatever's next is going to be Scarfer. Heliolisk. I don't have a switch into Heliolisk. Do I just close combat it? This has lost most of its utility. This is already faster than it. Yeah, it's Life Orb. Is this the Scarfer? Let me see what Thwacky does to this thing. Ninetales. Grassy Glide is so funny. Why does this do so much? Okay. I have turns. I think I just Grassy Glide twice. I think I just Grassy Glide again. Ooh. That really sucks. So now he's got to go here. Which is fine. Is this just Nasty Plot? What does this even do in front of me? I think I should go here. I think I U-turn on the... Let me just make sure this isn't just killing this thing outright, because I haven't done these calcs. All-out attacker, Life Orb, Grassy Glide, under Veil. Aurora Veil, where is it? 38 to 45. I think I U-turn on the Volt switch. Is that true? Yeah. I have 2 turns after this. I might be screwing this up. What does this have? Hyper Voice is not killing. After U-turn. I'm going to U-turn. Because I can win late game with this if I want to switch into Alchemy now. Okay, I'm gonna click one Calm Mind. Let me look at Crawdaunt. Swords Dance into Alchemy, Draining Kiss does not so much. I just need to live shit. And I do live a Crab Hammer Life Orb. Which is what I knew I could, but there's Hail up, so that matters. No, I definitely don't live that. I should have just Draining Kiss twice, actually. Draining Kiss here. Do I lose if he Swords Dances? I don't think so, actually. Do I lose? No, I think I still Grassy Glide twice. Okay. Oh, I'm shiny! 61. So the only thing is if he does click the Crab Hammer. And then in exchange, I'm doing quite a bit to it. And I might win with Grassy Glide. I also have max HP Dragapult in the back. Which is what, clicking Flamethrower on this? I guess it's losing out already. Okay, so this is where it sucks. Dragon Kiss again? I think I have to. Dragon Dance is good. Okay. So I think he has to click the Crab Hammer. I have to live. Yes. Cool. I'm going to Draining Kiss. All right, GG Sean. I mean, I definitely had an advantage there with the Mienshao and Volcarona play. Sorry about that. I know it's so hard to remember about because you think once you know that something's choice locked, then it gets ingrained in your head. So sorry that that happened. I feel like it would be the play would have been to then go. Gosh, that's so tough. I mean, I guess Ninetales is faster, so you could get off the Veil and then go Volcarona. That probably would have been the play. On my end, after that happened, I think that crit mattered. I'm gonna say, did you click Ice Move into Thwacky on the crit? I might have to do some calcs to see how much that. Let me actually do some of that right now, just to see, because Thwacky is so freaking strong, or so freaking bulky with the Eviolite. So this is, what do you call this? Ninetales A. If this was Blizzard, then it would have been doing a lot. Otherwise, I think actually, which I think I lived. Let's see, Blizzard, because we know the item was Light Clay. And you're thinking it's going to be fast. I still lived. I did. I was a Violite, nearly max HP. Will Theory Craft after my session. I'm sure of it. All right, cool. So that was the video. GG's to Sean. Like I said, really sorry about how that went down at the end there. Um, let me pull up my next week's match just so we can see. It is. So we have week 4. We are going up against the Hippopotamus, and I have my new Pokemon on the way. I ended up trading. Let me zoom in here. I ended up trading Tyranitar, Alchemy, and Thwacky. And I think I talked a little about this in my team builder. I'll just say here quickly that the match kind of solidified. I need to switch into knockoff. Um, and I need to not have this sort of weakness compounding with my most costly Pokemon. I don't mind it with the Gigalith lower because Gigalith is similarly bulky to Tyranitar, similar attack, maybe obviously not as much coverage or offensive options, but better for the price, I think, given that I'm not going to be running Sand Rush Excadrill a lot of weeks. And so, yeah, having the 2 knockoff switch-ins, I think, will be good. And this was like the best I could do with Alchemy. I can't think of other ways for it to be more viable than other lower tier fairy types. I like the normal and the fairy option on Wigglytuff. It feels like a little bit more of just a switch in to ghost moves and dragon moves, and hopefully I can even just use it to get up rocks sometimes if I don't want to bring Gigalith and I don't want it to be Excadrill. So or Sand Slash. So anyway, that was the matchup. That was the match. I'll talk more about it probably next week when the team finalizes. But let me look at this for you. So this is our next week's schedule. It's going to be without Thwacky. Thwacky would have been nice for the choice banded priority moves on Terrakion. I think actually even without choice band it killed Terrakion. Grassy Glide is completely busted move. But I'm excited for my new team and looking forward to the next time. Peace.